Going on, guys? How are you?
All right, CPR Gulfport. Who's that?
Trying to remember his name. I feel bad. Brooks Johnson.
Okay, I think I've met him, just don't not 100% sure.
Yeah. Yes, sir. How are you?
Good, good. Your setup looks really fancy. If you actually have those panels, or are you just in your living room?
No, it is. I mean, they're not, I wouldn't say fancy, I guess. I mean, they're the cheap, things, but I did it for more of a backdrop than just like anything because it's like a wood
I
panel
got
wall. See, I dig those. I
I got
like
those
those.
ones.
Yeah, those are
Otherwise,
fancier.
when people kept asking if I was in the bathroom when I answered phone calls in my office. So, what are you working on now, Josh? I see you have been around a lot, but
I'm with Ad Central,
okay.
so pretty much everything and anything to do with Ad Central. Let me share this out to a couple more groups real quick while we're waiting. I know a few people. We've talked about maybe moving it around to a little bit later in the afternoon for some people. I don't know. I think
I
it's
can't
kind of,
make it later in the afternoon. I mean, this
yeah,
bumps up to the end of the day for me anyway, because I'm an hour east of Eastern.
yep. That's why that's the thing. It's hard to play both sides, right? So like, we have the West Coast, which is a couple hours behind. So trying to find a sweet spot that kind of works for everybody was the reason I kind of chose two.
Well, it might be fun as well to keep the time, but pick a topic and find someone who's really killing it in
Yeah,
that area, and then be like, this is our expert of the day. Because like
right.
most of us aren't really competing against each other. Like if I help you guys do better, I don't care, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's kind of what, my goal was last week. It didn't really work out that way, but Nathan was a good person to have on the call talking about computer MFP stuff. I
Yeah.
definitely think having the topic and just kind of like, a couple people that might be experts in that, specific topic would be the good thing. And then let people, just ask questions or anything like that. Let them kind of talk about stuff, but it still
Well,
ends
if you
up
get
kind of,
like Tucson Fan, I think that's his name. If you get him on about like 5-star rating, like how to keep that, like he's the master of like Google rating. You know,
yeah,
we kind of crush it in retail. We do about 50% retail, 50% repairs. Um, and we're a pretty big shop by these standards. And then there's other guys out there killing it with multi-store, how they manage to do it. That'd be really interesting to me.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of another thing too, is, the different things that we can bring. I think there's, I wouldn't say endless amounts of topics, right? But I think there's something that you could talk about every week. And even if it's follow up, multiple weeks talking about the same subject because there was a lot of
Well,
questions and you didn't even get to take the time to get it through it all.
it may also be interesting to do, like known issues, like a 20-minute focus on like the 13 Pro Max green screen, how to fix it. Have someone live repair a 13 Pro Max green screen, or we all remember the iPhone 7 audio IC. There'll be something else like that coming up. You know about the 13 Pro Max green screen, right?
Uh-uh. Oh, I mean,
There's
talking
a
about like the line, right?
No,
Or
no,
no,
the
not
the
the
screens just
line.
go green.
This green, yeah,
The whole
I
thing
have
just
seen
goes
it.
green, and it can be jumpered and repaired while retaining the original panel.
Gotcha. Yeah, I knew there was some like fix that some of the refurb guys have done. I think Cheen, if I butchered his name, I'm sorry, but I know I've seen him buying them up before.
Yeah, I mean we do a ton of them. So, but I've got 5 guys who microsolder on staff, so we that's kind of our jam.
Yeah. That's key. You guys do a lot of consoles then, I assume?
Not that much. A few, like one a week, I think.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, they seem to be just the more popular or the more common soldering repairs anymore. I feel like anytime I see somebody talking about something regarding that, it's always console HDMI ports.
Well, I think in the US that's where you can get that easy home run is just do a console, and in Bermuda where there's not as many consoles and more phones that are getting wet.
True. Very true. Makes sense then. You guys do a lot
Little
of iPad
staff.
charge ports?
We do iPad everything. We just do a ton of iPads. There's nobody else really fixing iPads at scale
Nice.
locally, so that's kind of our jam. There's the usual like low end guys who are doing iPhone screens and some Samsung screens, but everything else is kind of us.
Gotcha. That's good
And we
then.
do a ton of iPhone board work because it pays, it's economic to do.
Do you do data recovery?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the key, being able to, be the one-stop shop for, all your customers, especially if you have minimal competition as is. But
Well, we had competition. It's just there's economies to scale in a lot of this stuff. And the same is true of a lot of small towns. Like I'd rather be in like a small US city and kind of own that city rather than be in Florida or Queens or somewhere like that. That would be awful.
yeah, no, I agree. I've always thought that about even just like some of the more saturated markets, even over the years, before, LA, Houston, Dallas, stuff like that, and like bigger markets. I couldn't imagine just trying to compete or thinking that, like, hey, this is, despite the other 100 repair shops that are open that I'm competing with,
No, I'd
this
want to
is,
be in a city of 300,000, like some small town that nobody's really heard of.
yeah. You hiding from Dustin? Oh, there you are. You're muted though. I can't hear you.
So just cleaning up my desk a little bit.
Oh,
We're not going
yeah.
to judge you. I
You might
I
not.
might.
Everybody else will.
Why do you have toilet paper on your desk?
It's labels.
You guys don't use labels for toilet paper?
This is labels. I do have
I,
toilet paper too
I,
though,
I,
I do have toilet
because I'm
paper.
constantly blowing my nose. Like, and I'm too lazy to go to the store and get like Kleenexes or tissues, so I use toilet paper.
Same. It's just easier to walk to the bathroom and bring a roll of toilet paper over to my desk.
Yes. And if I have like tissues in the house, that's a luxury. That's something that never actually
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Do you have any damage from the storms?
No, not at all, actually.
Nice.
There was a fence that was down, but it was rotten already to begin with, so it wasn't really surprising. But I mean, we got very lucky. I like Helene. Somebody,
where are you, Dustin?
I'm in Hudson, so like
Okay.
maybe an hour outside of Tampa. Um,
Okay. I went to school in St. Petersburg, so.
oh, okay, yeah, cool. So yeah, there was a guy like right down the street where he had a trailer and it like was just ripped in half. So I was like, you see that right down the street, and you're like, wow, we got really lucky. So
Well, tornadoes come through and just do a line of damage.
yeah, yeah. So last time, Alex, you said you were going to talk to us about like retail and like flipping devices and stuff like that.
Well, not necessarily flipping devices. I think there's probably guys who do that better than us. Um, but about retail, I do have a lot of thoughts because we kind of kill it in retail. I'm kind of disappointed more people aren't here.
I was just
Um,
starting.
well, the single biggest thing is honestly to sell things that are easy upsells for your phones and related. Have the scripts with your salespeople to sell them. So every time a phone comes through, do you need a case and screen protector? It's that simple thing. And the answer pretty much always is 50% of the time is yes. And then you tag another $100 of gross revenue onto your repair ticket. What we've been really successful in doing, I've been to China twice, is finding, for example, brands that you cannot Google or find on Amazon that look professional. And so we're selling a ton of stuff that looks branded, is good stuff, but doesn't directly compete with Google because you can't just go and type the same thing in and find it online for half the price. the other cool thing that a lot of the premium brands, if you get a wholesale account, will let you buy at a discount and then retail at the same price as Walmart. And I really don't know many um, other areas that will let you do that in small box local retailers, a small business, right? So you can be price competitive with on Amazon on a lot of these cases and accessories, which is really cool.
Yeah. That,
Um,
I was just gonna say we did that a lot of Geekmatics with the upselling of the accessories and stuff like that. It was really like the bread and butter, and it's super easy to sell, especially off a repair. I mean, if they're coming in for a broken screen, that tempered glass is almost selling itself at that point, right? I mean, it's so I completely agree with that.
and we did use Zag for a long time when we were a CPR location, but Zag couldn't fulfill our orders, so we switched to a different similar quality brand. But the real thing is like these non-Amazon searchable ancillary devices, charging cables, wireless chargers, charging stands, cases. We do a ton of those, like iPad cases, laptop cases. Every time you have a MacBook in, oh, do you need a protector? Yes. Great. Here's another $50 on top. And having that as part of your sales script for whoever's doing your customer service. So I mean, who greets your customers in your shop?
I mean, I don't have a shop. I work
You're
from
all
home.
You're all B2B. You're B.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I greet
That's
the customers. Maybe eventually AI will greet them if it's polite enough.
I don't know. I think being rude is part of your charm.
It's funny because I'm like I have that like demeanor in like CPRST and in public and in the news and stuff like that. But when you actually do business with me, I'm so nice and professional. I'm like, yes, sir, no, no, ma'am, all of that. And it's funny because like people that I joke around with a lot, they'll start to use me, and then they'll talk to me like as we're just joking around, and I come back and I'm like, yes, sir, I'll have it done at this day and all of that. So. I mean, Tony knows he's seen my joking side and then my business side. So nice to see you again, Tony.
Yeah, likewise. Sorry, I joined the Zoom while listening on the Facebook Live, so I was listening to you talk twice, and
Oh, cool.
so I just heard everything you said twice, so that was good. I liked it.
Yeah, hopefully it sunk in twice as deep.
It's there, all right.
Yeah, the only time I see yes sir and yes ma'am is when I'm being arrested.
Which is quite often, right?
I think that
No,
was
I'm
like
kidding.
drilled into me as a kid, and then I went in the military for a little bit there. So it's just like that's always been a part of my life. Even as a kid, I was always a yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. My mom kind of beat it into me.
I actually won the Top Cup triathlon in Florida, so I knew I could outrun every police officer in Florida. So
Oh my gosh.
that was 21 years ago. So probably don't have the wheels anymore.
Where are you located at now?
Bermuda.
I was not expecting that. I don't know why.
Yeah, he's out there. He's out there, man. Living
Wait,
a dream.
do you sell like you mostly like accessories, or do you sell a lot of products as well, or like MacBooks and iPhones?
We sell
Oh,
a ton of we sell a ton of devices, and our key for our devices is basically we give a like new guarantee. So we sell like new iPhones and Samsungs and stuff, and they may have some scratches on them, but they work like new. And so it's a great upsell for us because someone comes in with a written off iPhone 11 and we say, look, yours is going to be $549 to fix. I can sell you a new one. Which one do you want? And they say, I'll take the new one. And as long as it's just a broken screen or something, we migrate the data for free. And then you
Yeah, that's
add
what we
on
do.
we give them a free charger, fast charger with it, because those cost $5 from China. And you throw in a case in a screen protector, and all of a sudden you have a, $400 or $500 sale. And they're going out happy because their phone works. And you're all set because you've just upsold that person.
Yeah, it's crazy how many stores don't. And what they'll do is they only give the option to repair. And then if the customer like rejects the repair for whatever reason, there's like, okay, and they have no recourse. I'm like, man, at a minimum, if you at least have a device, like that's why we're actually probably one of the few shops that we stock Apple Watches, because you charge you quote them even a $90 labor rate on a repair, and they're like, eh. So I'm like, hey, look, for $40 more, let me upgrade you to one that's 3 generations newer. Like I'm only making $50, but then I can sell them a screen protector, and they're a happy customer, right? They got something newer, and they're gonna remember us. Like, holy crap, these
Yeah.
guys, like, we're honest, right? They told me it's not gonna be waterproof anymore. They didn't recommend the repair, so you were like, I give them the option, like, I can do it, but if you ever wash your hands ever again, like, take your watch off, like, and they kind of laugh, and it's just being a human, right? And just but like it's given options. That's the key. And Alex, I know like over the years we've talked, like you guys do that really well. Like, hey, we have option A, B, or C. What do you want?
But we also sell the phones that are truly like new. Like this has a brand new battery. It will work absolutely like new.
I remember.
And that's really vital because I see these guys selling these like shredded C grade phones with shitty batteries, and the person's going to have a terrible experience with that.
Yeah.
Whereas, phones are more like cars these days. You don't need to buy a new car every year unless you're, Tony, and you bought a Tesla, it falls apart. You buy a new
Whoa,
car when it's
whoa.
Calm down.
Three,
All
year,
right.
three years in, it hasn't fallen apart yet.
okay, you're doing well. Um, but your phones last a really long time, so you don't need a
Yeah,
new phone. Like an iPhone 12 gives you a high-end experience, even though it's a 4-year-old phone.
Yeah.
yeah,
In a
agreed.
practical, once it's got a new battery in it. Like I
Too
got rid of my
many.
iPhone.
Go ahead.
I got rid of my iPhone 12 Pro just because like I finally decided the camera upgrade was worth it to get a Pixel. Like that's it.
Wow.
Yeah,
And you betrayed Apple like that. All
ooh,
right. Okay. I mean,
Tim Apple would not be happy.
he said because of
My
the camera.
my first phone was a Motorola. I'm older than you guys, so
What's a Motorola?
and
How
not a
old are you,
Razor.
Alex?
I'm 42.
Okay, you're a little bit older than me, so not much. All right. So my first was a Nokia.
Are you
I
like,
mean,
Yeah, but
my mom had the Motorola bag phone that you plugged into the cigarette lighter in her car and everything. I remember
but
them.
I do go to
Let's
industry
remember the
events
Cold
and
War.
and all these young guys are trying to party and I'm like, it's past 9 o'clock. I got to go to bed.
that's it's funny because Mark, I don't know if I should sell this, but Mark and from Jessica Jones's course or company
Yeah,
iPad
Schaefer.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like kind of the same way at the beginning of the night. He's like, oh, I don't want to be drinking. I can't, I got to go to bed. You put like 2 or 3 beers in him, and then he's up till like 2 or 3 in the morning, having a great time with you. So,
Dude, that was me and
If I
Alex
if
in
I do
Vegas
that,
5 years
I'd
ago.
regret it.
huh?
No,
But I
Alex,
wasn't drinking.
I wouldn't remember.
You were drinking. I wasn't drinking. I stayed up late, but I wasn't drinking.
You treated me to a wonderful drink called ass juice.
Oh yeah, we did
That
have
was
ass
fun.
juice. Yes,
Thank
yeah,
you.
we did
Yeah,
have ass juice. Yeah.
I don't have the glass here, but they literally serve it in a toilet. It was so cool. It's like a little toilet, and Alex like, bro, you got to it this thing. And it was actually it was almost like a Jaeger bomb type flavor ish. Not bad.
I,
I
But
lived in I lived in Vegas after college, and there's this horrible dive bar, called the
yeah,
Double Down Saloon that has bad punk bands, and we used to go there and play pool in suits because it was next door
yep.
to our apartment.
And our pool
Good
table
place.
was slanted. That was hilarious. It was like ever so slanted.
So
It was
anyway,
awesome.
back to retail. USB sticks for data recovery, easy upsell,
Easy money.
easy money. iPad keyboard cases where people can actually feel and touch them. We get the Chinese iPad Pro ones, um, iPad style ones, and they're just like the Apple ones, but they're like $100 cheaper. Oh,
Nice.
the big man arrived
Oh boy.
from the
What's
Tony Talk Show.
happening?
Did we
What
just sell the
up?
SAG ones?
Tony, I got a serious question, bro. What is going on with your hair, dude? Ever since you have cut it, it's like you're trying to make it perfect again. What is going on?
I'm growing it. I'm growing it. And I'm grieving as well.
I mean, I'm grieving. I looked up to your hair. I have pictures of it in my bedroom, and now it's.
What
It was
are
a
you
monument.
grieving? Look at that hairline. I would kill for that hairline.
I
I'm
mean,
growing it. I'm growing it. I'm growing it.
Yeah, we do
I'm
the
gonna
iPad keyboards.
there's new generations, Dustin, that has like these little ponytails and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't noticed.
Please don't. Please don't do it, bro.
The next time you see me at an expo, I'm gonna have like one of those ponytails here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tony Baker's gonna show up to GRE with a freaking ponytail.
And maybe
You
you'll
need to
see
start
some like
using.
I will
Braid
clown
it.
you on
Braid
stage,
it.
Tony. I will.
You
I'm
need to
not
do slang
ashamed.
like skibidi and no cap kill all.
I
don't know.
will
Tony
stop
would
the
know.
micro
I don't know.
soldering competition in the middle and be like, everybody look at Tony's hair real quick. Just look at it real quick.
Just look at that.
No,
He's
the
got real
honest
little gold
answer
rings.
is I really don't feel like getting a haircut. That's all it is. Just not in the mood. bad hurricanes, bad mood, bad economy.
I've heard that you got hit on the hurricane pretty bad, no? Like you
Yeah,
lost power for a little bit?
yeah, some of our stores did. My warehouse got power like Tuesday. We got power on Tuesday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Damn.
That's rough.
Yep. But we're okay though. City's okay. It's just the crazy part about it is they're not paying people now. So everybody who's applying for FEMA, hurricane disaster, or whatever disaster, nobody's getting paid. Everybody's getting not approved. So there's no money in the market right now.
Ooh.
We got money for Ukraine.
Hey, leave my people alone, all right? My uncle needs
No
money.
comment. No comment, because that's how I feel, though. That's how I feel.
Bro, they're walking around over there with US EBT cards. Don't worry, it's fine.
Yeah, it's sad though. I mean, it's just sad to see, like, my people here, like Americans, they're struggling. Like, you'll see people that don't have money to eat.
Yeah, it's rough.
And it is rough. I mean, especially Florida, more of like a tourist state, you know what I mean? And Tampa's, Orlando, those areas are attracting a lot of tourists. And when you see like rubbish and debris around the streets for more than a week or two, then you start thinking again, like, is this really happening here?
Well,
Like,
that's on the
Yeah,
local
dude.
government to
That's
actually.
our Asheville, same thing, man. Asheville, it's wild. They don't even know how many people don't have power because so many houses just like literally got washed away.
I
Like my
heard in
employees,
North Carolina, there's like a dam that blew up, right?
it almost did. One
Okay.
overflowed. It was supposed to. Like honestly, they got lucky that it didn't, but it was like cracking.
Really?
Yeah, my employees got lucky. One of them only had like a flooded house, but like it's not that bad. Like he's
I got a
okay.
customer in Alabama. I'm not sure where in Alabama, but he owns like 3 stores, and he's been out of power since Helene. But like he closed down the stores and like
Yeah.
no business.
Yeah, we just got
That's
power back in Asheville Monday. We still don't have internet out there. We're running off hotspot, so it sucks. So like my employees can we can text on occasion.
Wow.
Like it's bad and like it's rough. And dude, and they have to use repair queue. So like half an hour just to like check someone in. They're like, hold on a minute, let me.
You don't got a Starlink, bro? What's up?
Actually, that's being installed as we speak.
gonna say.
Basically. Or
I've got a bunch
yesterday,
of
yeah,
friends
but
I've seen doing stuff out there that live out in that area that have been doing like that, but they deployed like 300 Starlinks and stuff like that for people, and it was crazy to see a bunch of the
bro, they're
videos.
gonna
They're
make
still
Elon a
out there doing it.
trillionaire.
Oh, 100%. And free, you got free
Yeah.
service to do next year, bro. You're good.
Yeah. I give it 10 years before he's a trillionaire. That's gonna be ridiculous.
Did you guys know that
But
Alex Jones is the richest man in Bermuda?
that is true.
I'm not even close. My old boss was the second richest man in Africa, or second
No
second
shit.
richest African at the time.
No way.
Alan Gray.
Oh.
He's given
Not
a
an
couple of
African
billion
prince.
dollars to charity.
Oh, you followed his footsteps, so you're the richest man in Bermuda.
I'm not
There we
even
go.
close. I'm not even middle of the road here. You have no concept of how wealthy this place is.
Yeah? Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
It's like
Yeah.
Monaco, bro. Everyone's rich.
Really? And so but Bermuda is its own country, right? Like its own government and all.
It's a self-governing British territory. Our parliament is actually
British.
older. Oh, it's actually older than the UK parliament.
No shit.
Because the UK had a flirtation with a dictatorship, and so our parliament is
So it's
older.
under the British government, like it's under the British power.
In theory, yes. In practice, it's more or less independent.
So like army and stuff, is it British or is it Bermuda?
It's the Royal Bermuda Regiment of the British Army, kind of.
Oh, okay.
But there's a local commanding officer. So like during World War II, one of my grandfathers was Bermudian. He fought with the British Army in India, and his brother fought with the Canadian Air Force because Canada had the similar status to us during the Second World War.
Wow.
It's not too dissimilar from like Palestine pre-1947 was a British protectorate, but it was effectively self-governing.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, makes sense.
So we have a British governor who assents to laws, but we have our own parliament that we elect.
Good to know. So
Just so
everybody's
you
rich
know.
there. Let's go to Bermuda.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Well,
just
yeah,
so you know, the average income in Bermuda is about 70,000 a year, whereas in Florida, where we're at, is like 34.
No
So,
way.
and this is according to Google's AI.
So we're poor compared
which
to
is
Bermuda.
accurate.
Yeah, we're like making half of what they are over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that median income is a bit misleading because it only is employment income.
Uh,
Right. There's a lot of
So the
people out
actual
there that are
median
just like
income is much, much higher.
wealthy.
what do they deal with? I mean, U.S. dollar or?
Yeah, US dollars.
Oh, it is U.S. dollar. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Well, any of you guys want to get together and buy me out, you're more than welcome.
Shit, I gotta visit Bermuda first and check it out.
I'm pretty much done. If you guys make me a good offer, you can have my business.
Tony, let's go. Let's go take a look, man. Let's go take a
I would. You
vacation.
want to go on vacation from Bermuda?
Yes,
Why
let's
are
go
you
to
guys
Bermuda.
excluding me? I know I'm a poor ginger, but I can still contribute.
You can
No,
still contribute.
you'll be the sober driver.
You can take the building too. The building would be an extra million on top, but it's a great little building.
Alex is so tired of this industry.
I'm
Alex
done.
just
Sorry,
wants
my
to
front desk
relax.
is calling me.
I don't blame you though.
No, one thing Alex said though was interesting. He was talking about how one thing they sell a lot of is like iPad cases with the keyboards. Those do sell pretty well. But like my experience, I would love to know if anyone's like what kind of brand you guys are offering because we use Zag, so they're great, but they're freaking expensive. Like our cost is $80, $90, but they're super super nice. They don't
How
take
much do you
when
sell
they
for?
sell. $200. We'll make 100, $120 on them. So it's
Nice.
fantastic. But I mean, it's a harder sale, right? If I could sell one for like 99, 89, but then again, it's like the quality. I don't know. I'm not sure, but
Well, that's what Alex was saying. I think he was saying he gets like not like an off brand, just a nice brand or not a nice. See, Alex says
He buys from China. I think he buys a
yeah,
lot of this stuff from China.
I
yeah,
think
What
it
I
was,
will
but
but
not
do,
yeah,
something that you can like Google or Amazon the brand, so he's not competing with Amazon in that way.
what
Yeah,
I do is
Alex is
I go
all.
to phone LCD parts and I just order from them. I just find the same thing on Apple. Like, so I see what Apple is selling and what Samsung is selling. Go to phone LCD parts, look through
really.
their accessories and just order the exact same thing. So like you say you're paying 80, $90 for a case. Now I got some little cases. Now they're not exactly the same, but I got some little bullshit cases. I paid cases with the keyboard. I paid $2 for them.
Yeah, but
And
see, at $2,
I
the
just
quality's
throw
not
them
going to
on.
be.
No,
Yeah,
no
I just
bullshit,
throw them on the
no bullshit
iPad. It's an
keyboards.
instant sale.
I'm gonna
No
take a look at
bullshit.
that.
But we
I'm
we
gonna take
do a
a look
lot
at
direct out of
LCD
China.
parts.
One of the things I'm actually looking at is, sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay, is actually setting up a company to do that kind of sale out of China. Be low margin, high volume, but I just don't have time to do it right now.
Like you mean you want to have like a U.S. company but based out of China? Like the
No,
sales rep is more involved
Bermuda,
into this industry.
no, a Bermuda company selling into the U.S.
Oh,
products
okay,
out of
okay,
China,
nice.
right? I'm
I think it
I'm
needs
not in the
like
U.S.
a very aggressive sales guy, like a very active.
like
Yeah,
a baker.
there's people out there, yeah, like a Tony Baker, but
The fuck happened
there's all these
to my sound? Wait, I can't hear shit.
there's all these fun products that if you just stick them on the shelf, you only need a couple of them and they will move. It's just a lot of the repair shops are so broke they can't even afford to invest in this stuff.
Bro, you're not even lying, man. I listen. I'll tell someone, yo, if you pay for a month of a point of sale, $30 a month, and they're like, I can't afford it. I'm just like, I'm sorry. If you don't, but they're like, we do 6,000 a month, and they have two employees. I'm like, so you're losing money. How the hell
Yeah.
do you have employees with 6,000 in revenue? Like, but then you find out they have no inventory. They give away screen protectors for free to this day. They don't like. It's just basic crap. Like, dude, just you do repair, sell them a screen protector, sell them a case, smile, ask for a 5-star review. I mean, this is not rocket science. This is easy crap. Like
People just get
this is a
complacent,
simple,
I feel.
it's an easy
Like,
business.
I don't know. I feel like some people they're like, oh, I'm making $6,000 a month. That's more than what I was making at my
No, I'm
job.
saying like
They just
revenue,
get
bro. Like
complacent.
they don't understand. No, I think they don't understand what they're making.
Whatever
They'll be
Dustin
like,
just said, people get
yeah,
comfortable. Like people like they, and I've said that I think when in one of my conferences is people think, they've made enough money that they reach
yeah,
their humble line. Like that's what they want to make,
Yeah.
and and they're just get so comfortable not knowing that our industry requires 24/7 hustle. Like if I tell you I woke up this morning and I had a dream about making a sale, like I was in the middle of a sale with somebody, you know what I mean? So like it requires you to be thinking like that. So the minute they get comfortable, sales go down within a day. Like from a day to day, if Dustin don't feel like working today, he's gonna make zero. If he's gonna feel like working today, he's gonna make a couple of $1,000s. So that's how in our industry, you can't get comfortable. You cannot.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, the
talking to a
problem.
buddy of mine. Oh, go ahead.
No, you man.
I was talking to a buddy of mine who, he does like a little bit of board work, but not too much. And I was kind of talking to him about like, hey, maybe you should like, get into board work or maybe screen refurb something to like bring more revenue in because you have the
Yeah.
skill set to do it, right? You're not dumb by any means. So, but his argument back was, it's like, oh, I just don't see enough of those things come in. Like for like board work, he says maybe like 5 a year. And I was like, I used to think that same way. And when I worked at Geekmatics for years, it was the same way where it was like, I saw maybe 1 to 2 a month that really needed board work. But once I came back from Jessa's and started actually doing the work, it's like it was like 3 or 4 a week that would come in. And so it's like once you start offering that skill, the work does kind of follow it. Yeah.
100%. It's the same thing. Everybody who says like, "Oh, we don't sell accessories for XYZ reason. We don't sell ACO." Or my number one favorite excuse anyone ever gives in this industry is absolute bullcrap. Oh, in my market, my customers won't pay X. Bullcrap. I have stores. I have stores in the second poorest demographic zip code in the entire continental United States of America, and we sell screen protectors for $39.99 at a 60% attachment rate. We sell four
I
or five
can't.
thousand dollars worth of screen protectors a month in the second poorest zip code in the U.S. If you can't sell it, it's not your customers. It's you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's you.
There was I don't know if any of you seen the post that I've made yesterday about those A10Es, some Samsung A10E, and we had about 500 units. We sold about 300 and some within 24 hours. So there was this guy made a post, and he was like, "I just don't know how you're able to sell them for $70 while they're in Amazon for $72." So I said, "I'll tell you how. One, you're giving good customer, so you're giving customer service. Two, demand. The phone is in your store and
In
it's
your hand.
it's right then and there." So another guy comes back and says, "Oh, I guess you didn't understand what he said. Is how can you sell this?" I said, "I already explained it. You know what I mean? There's people are selling it for $99, and listen to this. There's a different world outside the U.S. There's 7 other continents or 6 other continents that sells these devices, and there's third world countries where a Galaxy or a Samsung A10e, whatever it is, they're happy to have it. So you cannot judge, and that's what I think seems to be the biggest problem in some of these chat groups is people don't understand that there's other cities, there's other states, there's other people, there's other countries. Like not every city is Tampa where we make $10 on a repair. You know what I mean?
Well,
So when
I
I
was
see
just
these
saying how
comments,
awful it would be to be in Tampa
it's bad. It's bad,
Yeah.
and a lot of
or
people
or,
like
or Queens in New York.
Queens, I think they make more money than us. There's more people.
But no,
Yeah, no, I
it's
love
also
it. I
this
love it
the
when guys are
service.
like, yeah,
We don't just give a phone. We give a phone that works like new.
yep,
We sell them a case and a screen protector. You give them a nice fast charger. It's got a new battery in it. You migrate all your data for them. You send them out set up, and people will pay a premium for that. Like, yes, they could
100%.
wait a few days and get it on Amazon, but they're going to get something with a shitty old battery that's beaten to hell that they're going to have to set up themselves.
but
And
Yes.
if you
also
take the time to do it, you're
in
going to be
addition to that,
okay.
you're 100% right. In addition to that, I think a lot of what's wrong in this industry is a lot of these guys, they're techs who are trying to open up a business and they don't have a sale bone in their body. And when they get their first no, they get their first denial, they're like, "Oh, my customers refuse to pay XYZ." It's like, no, you're going to
Yeah.
get a bunch of no's, but you're going to get a bunch of yeses too. You have to be consistent. But so they lose, they lack consistency. They don't pitch it. They stop, and then they generalize. They're like, my entire market, none of my customers are willing to
Insecurity.
pay. Yeah,
Insecurity.
and because they've never done sales, and it's like not even really sales. It's just like Alex said. You're like, hey, you can go buy from Amazon. It might show up tomorrow. It might show up in 3 days. It might get lost in the mail. Then you're gonna have to do everything yourself. Or I have it right now. Give me 20 minutes. I'll migrate all your data. Go get a slice of pizza next door. By the time you're done, You're gonna walk out of here with a brand new phone, and you're on your way. It's
It's
convenience.
like
You're
that
selling
example they
convenience.
say on TikTok or Facebook. A bottle of water is 99 cents in a grocery store, and it's
Yep.
$2 in the airport, and it's 4.50 in on an airplane, and it's $7 in a club. You know what I mean? So
One.
it's the same damn bottle of water. You know what I mean? It's the demand. And that's
Yep.
what shocked me. Like I think you can sell whatever you want, even if you buy like a lot of the stores would say, "Hey, I can't sell $1,000 phone." Well, do you have financing? You know what I mean? Are you offering a
Yeah.
$50 down, $100 down? Because not everybody got $1,000 running around with, but everybody got a $50 bill to make a down payment.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we sell 16 Pro Maxes, $1,500. Really, how are you doing that? Like it's $50 down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's. I mean, it's like, well, I would never. Or they try to pretend that it's a moral thing for them, right? Like ethically, I could never charge that much. No, it's not
And one of my
ethical.
guys just sold a 16 Pro Max, 512 gig for $2,150.
Hell yeah.
2 days ago. Do
I
you know
believe
why?
it. I
The
believe it.
customer comes in and he goes, I went around all over Tampa. I cannot
No
find
one
it.
has it in stock.
My wife's birthday is today. And I'll fucking pay whatever it is. And the guy says,
Yep.
yeah, 2150.
Yep.
And I was like, did you scam the customer? He goes, no, man. I explained every single thing. The guy paid cash. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. Like, the guy loves
It
his
makes
wife.
sense. Like in Charlotte, if I want to in Charlotte, I want to order a 16 Pro Max right now. Any color, any storage. The earliest pickup date is around Thanksgiving. So
Wow.
supply and demand. I have it in stock. You want it? You're going to give me at least a few $100 on top. Otherwise, good luck. Go wait 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And you know what? If they say no, that's fine. As if I have unlimited stock, right? That's the thing too. It's like again, they get a no, and then they get scared, insecure. It's like, dude, it's fine. And but it's also how you position it. Because some people are worried about being like labeled a scammer, right? So like when the PS5 days were hot during COVID, right? People were
Yeah.
worried about selling them over retail. I was making $500 a pop. I was never labeled a scammer because I explained, hey, look, I paid a premium. You don't have to buy from me. I bought from some dude who scalped it. I didn't scalp it, but I bought it so I can make $100 and I can sell it to you.
Bro, the whole world is
You can,
high
yeah,
right
you
now.
can buy
Like
it if you want. You
everything
don't
in the
have to. Yeah,
world is expensive. Like, what do you want to call a dealership that was charging $25,000 above
All
MSRP?
bro,
What do you
dude.
want to call it?
all dealerships did that in
Every
COVID.
single
Every
one.
single dealership sold
Right.
over
Yes.
MSRP. Like
I
that's
think
that's
So
just how it goes. I mean,
we
there's
have
always
a.
going to be a store that does that, regardless, right?
so
I
guys,
have a model,
here's
not
some
a.
data that might
Good.
be useful. Our highest grossing items for the last 90 days. Axiom Armor Screen Protector, Type C charging cables, one Lightning, one Type C, 20-watt USB 2 plug adapters, MFI Lightning cables, 18-watt fast charger. Right, if you're not stocking these things, universal laptop chargers for PCs.
Yeah,
We
all the
sold,
money.
we sold 20 of those in the last month.
Holy crap!
Um, Type C to C cable, 42-meter long, at 240 watt. We sold 41 of those. Um,
And
at
that's
an
pure
average
profit right there. That's pure
at an
profit.
average net of $15 per cable. A lot of tempered glass, TWS headphones, good quality ones, not the shitty ones.
Yeah, good
Because
quality sells.
if you sell cheaper ones, people keep losing them,
Yeah.
and you've got to find what the good ones. iPad 9.7 cases, we sold 9 of those, right, for iPad 5 iPad Air 5 and 6.
You know,
Was it 2 a
a
week?
lot of people care about like selling quality chargers. Yeah, sell good quality chargers. Don't sell like the gas station ones. But if your customer charger doesn't break, he's never gonna come back to you.
13
Even
inch
the
laptop.
original chargers from Apple go bad.
Right, so we
A
sell
brand new
only the
phone will
braided
crack.
ones, only
Yeah,
the
and
high
people are like,
quality braided ones.
Yeah,
yeah, and
I
people
Yeah,
are like,
know.
thir-
oh, I don't want to sell my customers no aftermarket chargers. Well, their money says aftermarket money, so
yeah.
that's all
Yeah,
they can afford.
13-inch laptop sleeves. We sell a ton of those. Rock form cases are fantastic. 12-volt power supplies. We sold 6 of those.
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah, lots of TWS headphones of different kinds. 100-watt Type C chargers and high quality ones. We're actually able to get PS5 controllers and stuff at wholesale because we're outside the US, so those actually sell quite well. You guys probably can't.
No, I don't think
A
so.
lot of the JBL headphones, the JBL Vive 100 was the top seller. Ventev charge pads, those are from Voicecom. And then we've got iPad Mini 5 cases, sold 4 of them. So that's the kind of
You
stuff that
can't sell
really,
it if you don't stock it. I think the
Yeah,
average store. I would
exactly.
imagine if you ask 50 stores right now, no one has an iPad Mini case in stock. Period.
No, no,
Of
I
any
bet
sort.
nobody has an iPad case in stock almost.
Yeah.
We
No, that's true.
14
Hey,
lo
even
14 locations, nothing.
yeah, even CPRs, like even though we have that contract with Zag, right? Like we get these cases. Like I know a lot of guys don't carry them. And I'm like,
well, the
why? They're like,
Zag
well, it's
cases are
expensive. I'm like, yeah,
bad.
but I make $50 on a case, $60. I mean, yeah, they're not the greatest, but I mean, at least like people usually complain, right? Oh, I can't find them.
I,
Like, well, we don't
I
have
had
that
a
excuse that
brutal
I can't
warranty
find
rate
them.
on those Zag ones.
Really? I've actually,
Yeah.
to be honest, I think we've had a really good. Maybe we just had got lucky with it. I think it's because you're from Bermuda. They just hated you. It was a John
Well,
Davies special. Did I
We
lose
need to
you?
take a moment of for recognizing our sponsor, Jay Nash, and his e-bikes. If you're looking for
Oh
any
my gosh.
e-bikes for your shop to sell,
You
he's
got
got a
sponsors
great
now,
selection
Josh?
of e-bikes.
GSM
So
Warehouse.
He also
that
said
is
he would
Jay
take pretty much
Nash.
any offer.
Are any
Jay
of
Offer
Nash.
them
him
over in
offer him lunch
Austin?
and he'll take it.
Bro, I think
Are,
next month Josh will probably start charging us to be on this show. Be careful now.
$5 subscription fee to hop on.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I'll try to
Hey,
get
if
that
he has any of
recurring
those
fee going.
e-bikes, if he has those e-bikes in Austin, Texas, I could use one next week.
Yeah. We'll see about how we can arrange starting to move these around the country for people on custom request.
Oh my gosh.
See if we can offload him to Alex in Bermuda.
Right.
Hey,
Well,
I do have a couple of box trucks. I mean, I can move them for Jay. You know, I'll give him a good rate, load them up.
Why don't you buy them and load them up in your box truck and take them home?
No, no, thank you. I don't have any room in my
That
shop. My
sounds like
customers would
great.
never buy that. You know,
I feel like you could get a warehouse for pretty cheap, Tony. You said you were in real estate last time. Come on, like, can't you work this?
I probably could if I didn't live in one of the most fastest growing cities in the entire universe.
Wow. If you were a real friend, you would move for Jay so you could take his e-bikes.
Right? No, it's 100% true. Like it's just funny how you hear like Alex year after year after year. I hear, and I've spoken to him. I've known him for years. He's like having banner year after banner year, right? Even when other people are like, "Oh my gosh, business sucks," and he's like, "Business is great," and then but you look at why it's because the investment, right? And to Tony's point, like, oh, a lot of guys get comfortable. Oh, I'm making good money and I'm comfortable. Like in when you own your own business, you can't just get comfortable. You can't stop investing. If you're not growing, you genuinely are going to die. Like it's only a matter of time. And then, it's like you go from making whatever you're comfortable with, and then the guy down the street, he goes all in on inventory and everything else. He's gonna start taking customers away from you, and then your comfort zone goes away. I mean, it's just how it is. Like it's just I wish more of them realized, man, just this is not a business where you put in $10,000 and that's it, and now you just start collecting residuals. Like, no, you're gonna have to keep on reinvesting. And you're gonna have to keep on growing, and then you have to open up more stores. If you're not gonna be like Alex and have a mega superstore, like you're gonna need more stores instead of like shoot, like we just saw a guy who joined our system, and we were helping with him with his inventory. He's like, I have $27,000 worth of inventory, and I'm like, yeah, bro, you don't need that much. You could literally go and buy another store right now and fully stock another store. And he's like, I didn't even know. And I'm like, yeah, you have enough money for another store. Like, but you're already like kind of he's on the opposite spectrum, and he's kind of like capped out in terms of what he can do in that one store. I think a lot of guys just don't know how to get to that next point. What That's crazy. I mean, I don't know. I think people just need to ask more questions sometimes, and they can learn. Excuse me, gentlemen.
Then we got here Alex was
And
in
then
the
it was
waiting
just
room.
Josh.
Yeah, no, Alex was in the waiting room. I wasn't looking, and I have to admit people in. So yeah.
sorry, my internet crashed.
Oh, the
Bermuda's
downside
not
of
so perfect
Bermuda.
after all, is it?
It's all sunny and beaches until there's no internet.
Yeah. Um, I got to run in a second, but any other questions for me before I run?
I don't specifically, but I think everybody else besides Dustin is AFK right now. So I think he might
Okay.
make a quick exit.
Well, it seems like there's some people on Facebook. I know if anyone's looking for e-bikes, there's definitely a guy who
That's right.
might be able to help you out.
Jay and Ash, that's right. Blue e-bikes, everybody. Plenty for sale. No order is too
There's-
small or too big. All right.
Is there not a market for that in the Bermuda
I'm sure
Valley?
there's a great market for it. If you want to come over and take advantage of it, bring a container in and go for it. I will cheer you on from the sidelines.
I'm sure Jay will appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Yep, you too, man. Shoot, we might have an early Friday.
I
Usually
know
we're
I'm
running
about to have to get out of
overtime.
here too. I gotta get back to work. That was a client that called me earlier, and I gotta get on his MacBook. So
I
I
might I
gotta
might
get.
take this opportunity as well because I need to leave here in the next 45 minutes, and if I let the Zoom go, then it'll go. So
All right. Well, I'll
every,
talk to you later, Josh.
sounds good, man. You have a good weekend.
All right.
Everybody
You
else
too.
who is AFK, sorry when you come back and you realize we're done. And you guys have a good weekend. We're gonna wrap it up. And let's try to come up with a topic for next week. If you're watching this, I'll mention it in the groups and stuff like that. But maybe try to get a topic going early on in the week and get some expert people to come in here and talk and just, maybe ask some Q&A at the end and stuff. Maybe make it a little bit more, not straight just open table, but let's maybe talk about some specific key points or topics that could benefit everybody. So hope everybody has a good weekend and we'll catch you next week. Out. Is Tony moving his phone? Oh, he's gone.